Guess what? We're not bowling. Boo.
Alright, so first thing I asked when I got in here, I walked past Jake Peters. He got done bowling. I said, how you do? He goes, 120 over or whatever. Scores are pretty tight. If you go about 120 to 150 over, that's not enough to be in the top 6 in your squad, but you're only one game away from probably that being possible. So he said, went 120 over, and I said, well, did you have to play huge angles? And he goes, no. He goes, we couldn't even get a ball to hook. And so that's pretty interesting. I mean, it's only a 39-foot pattern. So I went ahead and hit quite a few balls with 500 surface. I would assume we're gonna start left. I don't think a whole lot of people threw urethane, righties threw urethane last squad, and their squad had significant lower rev rate. Now, when I was on the player committee, the way they chose the squads was through titles. So they'd literally just go down the list of bowlers bowling, and they would go Walter Ray Williams, Pete Weber, Norm Duke, Parker Bone, and they would just separate from title. Well, the problem with that is the guys with the most amount of titles have the lowest amount of rev rate most of the time. So you can get these extremely inequity squads in terms of rev rate, and that matters because that determines how the pattern plays. So we have way more rev rate than the first squad. It could be a bad thing or it could be a good thing. The fact that the first squad didn't see that much transition, Richie Allen told me in the game room right there, he said, I looked down game 7 and I was standing in the exact same spot that I was standing in game 1. I'm like, oh, it's pretty rare. But it also probably shows a little bit of how much rev rate their squad had. I doubt that is going to be the case, but I would assume the super high rev two-handers are going to be really far left, their angles are going to be really far right, and they're going to be lofting it over the gutter. If we don't see a ton of transition like the first squad, then we'll be able to just kind of lay it down on the left side of the lane. It'll be a pretty normal angle, but I would assume because of the rev rate, we're going to have to do a bunch of loft. I don't know if that's going to make the scores higher or lower. But regardless, I think our squad strength is quite a bit higher as well. So getting ready to start here. Scores are tight. Again, we have to finish in the top 12 overall, which is about top 6 in this squad, which is a tough cut to make, but hey, we just gotta be pretty good. So that is it. Here we go. 8 games on Bear and Shawnee.
Are you ready, Dennis?
Well, I'm not gonna cut this. I think we should just keep it in. I think it's
Just let it roll, baby. This is gonna be a intentional are you ready? We're keeping it in, because sometimes we just accidentally sprinkle them in there when you be editing at midnight, and sometimes you just don't get all the hey, you ready? Out of there, you know? You just be looking over. But all right, anyway, Brad's 8 under after 2. Scores are pretty high. This squad, in my opinion, is a lot better than the other squad. No offense, but I mean, you got like Belmo, Simo, and EJ alone. It's like top 3 bowlers, so. But yeah, a lot of rev rate in this squad. It's coming off the back of the pattern, like really sharp. Guys are starting really far left, throwing a little bigger balls to start. So like your gems, your realities. I think I see some infinite physics, maybe a phase 2. That way, when it comes off the end of the pattern, it's not as violent. If you try to throw something shiny right now, it's just... So the whole deal right now is you're kind of left around 4th arrow or so. You gotta just float it out there with a soft hand, and then, you know, give it away a little bit, and that thing is just gonna come trucking back. So guys that are doing that are doing really well. Like EJ is bowling really well. But also, shout out to Zach Taggett for leading A squad this morning. That's awesome. So I'm sure EJ's trying to little extras block to make sure he stays ahead of his brother. So that's pretty cool to see. But yeah, no, it's again, if you have it, you have it. If you can't get that ball to really float through there and carry, then you're struggling. But so far, Brad's 8 under. That last game at the end, he figured it out a little bit more. Just a bad shot in the 10th, but we'll turn it around here. To believe in luck, juju, the dark arts, whatever you call it. But when things are down a little bit, and some things are going good, you don't mess with it. Right now, me and Dennis are sitting about 3 pairs away from Brad. Haven't catch any of the shots. He has a 5-bagger working on 290 pace. Now we're in the position. Do we go film? I don't want to mess with anything. I don't want to mess with any energy that's going on here. Then again, if we film that, he misses. You know why he missed, because we filmed it. So we're in a tough spot right here. The cloud is real at times. We don't want to be the cloud. What I just talked about, Dennis. My man had spare 6-bagger. Dennis goes, you know what, we gotta test it. What does he do? You guys just saw it. Sometimes you just can't be filming. You just gotta let them ride. I know you guys want to see the shots, but man, the cuts have been bare out here on the Brad and Kyle channel. So, man, I'm gonna have to sacrifice some shots for, you know, some 8-baggers. So. You can't film the rest of this game. It's just not happening. I'll give you the fill ball. I'll give you the fill ball. I'll get the fill ball. But these next 3, we gotta let him have his fun.
You have an update for me?
Yeah. So I just want you to know that the only shots we have on film from that game are both of the 7-count.
Oh, nice. I was wondering where you guys were.
I warned Dennis about the cloud, and I go, Brad's doing pretty good. I think we just need to sit over here for this game. He's like, 1-bagger, 2-bagger, 6-bagger. He goes, you know what? I gotta go test it. 7. Alright, I gotta test it again. 7.
Looks ain't good.
Then we went away, struck out.
To the point now I get a 4-bagger, I'm looking for the camera. I'm like, where's he at? I gotta look good somewhere. It's like, all we've got are 7 counts so far this year. We started out bad, but then now we went 240, 250. And, wait, what were you gonna tell me?
That was it. The only 2 shots.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We were trying to give you some breathing room, and we just clouded you both.
Yeah, so this is an issue. We're gonna have to change something, some voodoo stuff. But 240, 250, the difference was you can't, if you try and use speed, like faster ball speed to keep it on the line, it's never gonna work out because it's either gonna overhook in the front or it's gonna underhook down lane. I had that going on. I slowed my ball speed down a lot, playing this mega curve, and now it's working. So now we're doing good.
There's only 39 boards on a lane, Dennis. I hope that's right. I'm pretty sure it's right. The issue that the professional bowlers on the PBA Tour are finding out in this B squad at the Shawnee, Oklahoma Open is that when you start at 20 and you have everyone with a 450 minimum rev rate, it's just not a whole lot of room to go.
You run out.
And that's what happens a lot. This squad has a ton of rev rate, a lot of bowlers that are good, and you just run out of room. So you just can't move any further left. And it just makes them really hard because they either hook at your toe or you try to, like, you know, get it down the lane a little bit and it never hooks. So unless you find the right pair, the right ball, you can kind of stay close, maybe. But it's only 39 boards on a lane. They have no more. They have nowhere to go. So you're seeing a lot of that right now. Guys are kind of trying a lot of different stuff, but yeah, Brad's kind of struggling right now a little bit. But hey, pop one off here. Have a good night. Everything's fine, right?
One word to describe today.
Dab.
Old man bag. Old man bag.
Oh yeah. We're still. I've tipped it over about 3 times now, so we're still trying to get used to it. These aren't as easy as they look, you know. These lanes look like so much fun. I thought I'd just give them a try.
All right, so we just ended that 8-game block. We're heading out, and I gotta be honest. You know, my score sucks. It's just like you try and create a certain type of ball motion and it doesn't work. But you know, after games 1 and 2, it really wasn't going very well. And then games 3 and 4, I picked it up. I got 240, 250. I created the right ball motion and I made some good shots. That hasn't been happening, but those 2 games I was able to make it happen. The issue is when I go from a pair that I don't have a really good look on, if it doesn't kind of like automatically give me that good look, I keep shooting 160. And I've never really been the kind of bowler to shoot 160s like ever. I've always been the guy to like shoot clean 190s, like I don't split. And I don't miss easy spares either. And I've missed a few easy spares, but I'm splitting like crazy, like crazy. I'm just starting off games with like split, throwing a turkey, split, splitting the 9th, splitting the 10th, just multiple splits a game. And that just tells me that my game is not great. I'm not getting to the line the same way twice, there's no way. And then I'm not throwing the ball. The ball's not going down the lane the same way either. So that's what splits tell you. You shouldn't throw splits. So anyway, when we come back tomorrow, I mean, I don't know, I'm 23 under, I'm 60th out of 66. Pretty much explains it all. But when we come back tomorrow, we got 8 games, just try and do a little better. The angle you need is really weird because it's gotta, some people are playing them where they're not getting their ball right quick, and some people are playing them where they're getting their ball right quick. So Stu to my right bowled really good, never got his ball right quick. EJ Taggett bowled good to my left, never got his ball down the lane. So you can kind of pick and choose how you want depending on what ball you're throwing, and I was like in between all of it, and I never really knew what ball to throw, and I really wasn't executing all that great. So I tried that last game to come out and just shoot that big game the last game, and it didn't quite happen, but you know, we got another 8 games, and then we got another tournament after that. So clearly this pattern is something that I need to work on. So these next 8 games are an important 8 games, equally as important as as if I'm leading, because it's clearly something I need to get better at. So that's where we're at mentally. Score is what it is, but we're just going to keep on trying to get better. Eventually one of these days are going to match up to where we hammer them pretty good and we find ourselves in a pretty good spot. So that's it. Kind of crappy day, but we're just learning. So anyway, we're gonna be done. Membership $375. The link is below. You get any ball. BradandKyle.com for merch. And we love you guys. Thank you for the support. We'll see you.